Good evening. Tonight is the Town of Litchfield Recreation Commission meeting for Tuesday, November 14th, 2023, and we will open the meeting and call the roll. My name is Peter Ames, Chair of the Commission. Andy Ruggles, Vice Chair.
Present.
Judy Brennan, Secretary.
Present.
Steve Weber, Select Board Rep.
Present.
And Jeff, Town Member.
Present.
Absent tonight, Mike Bosky with notice, and we're expecting Chris Burns shortly. First order of business is the approval of the October 24th, 2023 minutes. Have members had a chance to review those minutes?
Yes.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
A motion. Is there a second?
Second it.
Second by Jeff. Is there a discussion or any suggested changes to the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain?
Abstain. I was not here.
Yep, motion carries
Partially here.
4-0-1.
Watching it on TV, sending quick text messages. And
Great, we will now open the meeting for public input. Welcome, Ron.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Sure who you are, where you live, and
Sure. Hi, Ron Oblinus, live down in Riverview Circle, down by Wilson's Farm, and coming to speak on behalf of the Litchfield Pickleball Association. So, Judy and I have talked about things at Town Hall, specifically the storage room, when she was cleaning there, and so it came about that we offered to pay for the painting and actually undertook the painting in the room. And during the conversation, there was mention of needing some shelving that would improve the use of it. And so we talked about that the Pickleball Association would be willing to potentially undertake that if it was the desire of the commission. And so we're just here to affirm that and see if, what the pleasure would be.
good. Comments or questions from the members?
I think it's great because we do have some other unexpected expenditures we're going with things that have
Yeah, the heat.
hot water heater and things like that. And
Yeah.
I think if we can get that room organized, then it will stay organized. I think if we leave it, just toss everything, no one else is gonna take care of it, but if we can get it organized and assign space, I think people will be better about keeping it neat, or I will make sure they keep it neat, or they won't be able to keep their stuff in there. But there's just, I think it really help, and was good to have everybody go through their stuff and remove it. The junk, get rid of there was a lot of junk.
A lot of stuff.
So, I know, I was with Chris Burns and he took measurements and we talked about what walls to put shelving on and that some areas would have to be left higher because the basketballs are on rolling carts. Your pickleball, you have a couple higher pickleball
Yeah.
basket things. So it wouldn't be, floor to ceiling, but maybe floor to ceiling on one side. So he would be the guy to talk to. He has all the measurements.
Okay.
If the board is in agreement with allowing you to do that. Oh, and thank you for fixing the janitor's closet so it closes. Nice too.
Yeah, I'm completely fine with it. Thank you for offering to do
Yeah.
that.
I think it's
Thank
great.
you. Yeah.
Certainly be appreciated. Yeah.
Good, okay, we will undertake that. Chris, gonna get a hold of me. Do you wanna formally talk about the other thing we mentioned as far as?
If you wish.
So one of the things that we had talked informally with Chris and Judy as well was the Pickleball Association generally has excess amount of funds from our revenue of dues, and we've made donations in the past. I know there was concern with the new pickleball courts about the future resurfacing. It would potentially be a fairly large dollar. What we would suggest as a potential solution to that is if you guys can concur that you would like to have us maintain a capital fund potentially toward supporting that effort, then we can hang on to funds beyond a year basis and with a designation that they're set aside for future maintenance with the expectation, our target toward resurfacing. So if that's something that seems logical, then we can take formal action at our next board meeting, maybe, and codify that.
I think it'd be fantastic.
I think that's a great
Yeah.
idea.
Great idea.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Absolutely. I think our experience with the tennis courts kind of is informative about, it'd be good to have a plan because
You're right.
those didn't get resurfaced and now they're in much more significant condition. And so having a plan to resurface them would be wonderful to keep them in great shape.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate that, because we've tried to use the tennis courts, you know, and they certainly have needed,
Grass up to your knees.
it certainly needed some attention, but that,
Special bounce every so often.
where did that one come from?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that sounds good. And then we will simply stay in contact on that, but we'll keep informed as we go along with other things. Also, if there's other needs that come up, we're happy to entertain discussions about being able to help with things that are related to town hall or something that we can say, this is the sport of pickleball, so.
You did make that, I don't remember how much it was, that donation. Was it 3,000?
It was
Usually
3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have that there too, and we may end up having to use some of those funds that you donated to help cover things that need to be repaired or replaced.
And we didn't designate that, but if there's still that there, I mean,
Use it for shelving, I mean, there's
well, you could use that for the water heater and stuff
water
like
heater,
that.
yeah, put it towards that.
You know, just as long as it, you know, we can point to it as, you know, we want hot water in there like everybody
Yeah.
else, so, yeah. Things like that are fine.
Ron, what are your thoughts for LPA regarding closing the courts for the winter? Like, we want to make sure nobody's using shovels on there to shovel off snow, but they're still being used every day, even though it's cold, so is it typically with the first snow that's not gonna melt, or?
Well, what I'd suggest is pick a day and take them down. The reason being is, to your point, I know of places that play all winter, and they shovel the snow off, and I would,
Yeah, I don't,
oh, hey, Chris, I would prefer not to have
Not to,
people doing
yeah.
that. So I would suggest maybe after Thanksgiving,
okay.
you got, I think there's a new box there?
No, I haven't delivered it yet.
So as
So
soon as that
Jason
gets
has to
there,
do it, I can't do it myself, but it's in, so we can get it there probably by the weekend.
I would say let's, you know, plan to take it down after Thanksgiving.
Okay, and the porta potties should be gone this week, right? Did we say mid-November?
Yep.
Yeah, so then.
Might
that-
wanna coincide when the nets come down, the porta potties go.
Yeah, and then we'll have to
Makes sense.
figure out, I don't know if we just run chain through the high fence entrance or whatever. Yeah, we gotta have some kind of sign that says no shovel or snow removal equipment, because somebody's gonna, I just know, somebody's.
If the nets are down, nobody's gonna be.
Yeah, if the
That's
nets
true,
are
if the
gone.
nets are down, I didn't think of that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll kind of take care of it.
unless you're doing something else with it.
But
Okay,
I think a sign
So-
would be, if you simply put closed for the season type of sign.
yeah,
You know,
Okay.
that would take care of, with the nets gone. Okay. Hey, Chris.
great.
How you doing? Sorry I'm late.
Oh, sorry. Hey,
Ron's gonna talk with you, Chris, about the measurements you took for shelving,
For what?
shelving.
Shelving,
Talent in
okay.
the new storage room.
Okay.
yeah, so when you get a minute, give me a shout and we can
Will do.
figure out how to
Will do.
help with that. We can help you put them up or stuff like that,
Sounds good.
okay?
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thanks, Ron, appreciate
everything
it.
you do and looking out for our properties. We appreciate it.
We try to. I'll take care of that vacuum cleaner.
Oh, great, thanks.
Right, I don't see any other members of the public, so we will close public input. All right. Welcome, Chris. Good to have you.
Sorry I'm late.
Nope, not at all.
Ball practice.
Of course. So moving on to facility and field requests, we have two, one from the Healthy Kids Running Series looking to next season for May 5th, 12th, 19th, June 2nd, 9th, 16th, 3 to 6 p.m., assuming those are Sundays as they have been in the past. We have their materials on file. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve, Healthy Kids Running Series.
I'd second it.
We have a motion and a second. Is there discussion?
Yes, we're gonna have conflicts with some blast tournaments on Sundays. Those are the only softball fields we have in town. We're running, our intent is to run more tournaments. We definitely have a conflict on May 19th. We had a conflict this last fall, well, summer, I should say, during a tournament, so with not knowing the flexibility and how they run their course, I'm just wondering if there's another property, an open field we could move them to, such as Sawmill, Brickyard. Because once those temporary fences go up, I mean, we're not gonna know our complete schedule until later, and I'd hate to have another conflict with them.
So you know of a tournament date? but-
We have, so far, there's one. The May 19th date is gonna be a conflict. We will have teams there. They start, they set up at 3, they start at 4. I can't guarantee that we're gonna be off the 3 fields by then,
Yeah.
based on how many teams we have for the tournament. I do know we're hoping to run more tournaments, and I'd rather not have conflicts on those dates. So I don't know if, I don't know how heavily Sawmill is used or Brickyard is used on Sunday afternoons from 3 to 6.
I've been to some of their Sunday runs, and I think Sawmill would be better because they go from age 2, I think all the way through high school now. So at least at Sawmill, they have the bike path they could use if needed. Like the 2 and 3-year-olds, they like to have them on the grass,
Yep.
which I can totally understand, and they're done in 45 seconds. And then the next group's a little longer. The only thing that they may find, and I don't know, is I noticed when I'm there, because the kids run for 40 seconds, and they do have, the parents and kids all gather at the playground,
Yeah.
which we don't have another playground. But I could check with her and ask her to check out Sawmill and Brickyard to see if she finds one better than the other. I know like the older kids are having to run like double loop, sand pavement, and grass, and it may be easier at Sawmill to be able to mark something out using part of the bike path as their run. And I guess the kids. if
I
they
just don't
can
wanna
run-
slip in communication. Next thing you know, we're trying to
Yeah.
finish up, they're coming, they wanna set up. We get more people coming, and it's, ends up being a bad scene for everybody.
The last time they were able to be a little flexible and readjust the route, but we weren't using the 3rd field in the background, so.
The second one we just
yeah.
finished, we were really down to
Yeah.
1, and
So-
in the long run, I know it was a struggle for them to relay it out. We offered to help, tape measures and all that.
Yeah.
And if anything, it actually helped the program, because a lot of people that were spectators for softball were asking questions about what is this, what are you doing, how do you get involved? So it almost turned into a marketing piece for them by being there that day.
Yeah.
But I know it was a struggle last minute. The kids and all the parents get used to running the same loop over and
Yeah.
over again. So, if we can somehow have flexibility.
Why don't I ask her to check those out?
Yeah.
And see.
Or even on the days, if you know what days.
And then as we
That's
get
what the coordinating
closer,
thing, But then you still wanna lay out 2 different routes, so if there's a field that,
yeah,
you
I
can
think it's
stay
the,
on all the time.
I think it's the
Right.
playground that makes, even
Yeah,
though
I can
they're there
understand
for
that.
running, but when you have the 2, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds.
Oh,
and
sure.
as I said, we're willing to work for it, but I think we're just gonna have to have some flexibility
Yeah.
to that point, cause
Let me ask
softball,
her to
we have
check
no
it
other
out,
place to
see
go in
what
town.
she thinks.
Okay, thank you.
Because
Yeah,
there is
even if it's just
bathroom, there is
going there on
bathroom
tournament days.
down there too.
Right. Yeah.
And then if it ends up, it's not being used and she wants 2 routes, we can discuss that a little later. You can't move softball tournament because those are the only softball fields.
Yeah.
So,
I had the impression last time that if she had known in advance, it wouldn't have been a problem. So it wasn't having both there at the same time, but just not knowing was the issue. But see what she says.
yeah, I'll check with her. So, do we not want to vote on anything? Do we want to vote on something pending?
we can-
Something
we
like I
can-
don't want somebody else to come in and all of a sudden grab a space.
Well, I don't think anyone else, somebody could grab the space,
I think we should probably take a vote just to approve them and then say.
Approve them,
Series is a
space to
great
be
thing.
determined at,
Space to be determined,
Yeah.
yeah.
because the
and
program's
then
a
I
great
can talk to
program.
her. It is a great program. I'd like to see more kids
Yeah.
doing it.
Definitely.
I would think GMS too, like, if they wanted to do, you could do a nice course there.
At GMS, yeah, and then
Yeah.
there's a huge playground
There's
there.
a huge playground, there's a huge field up
Could even
back.
incorporate-
They'd have to
Right
go
on the
through the
hill.
school though, right?
Exactly, what's that?
They
They
have
would
to-
have to go to
yeah.
the school, but. It
I'll
just
talk,
seems like a
I'll
good
talk
place,
with
there's
her if
plenty
we
of
want
parking.
to. So I'll make a motion to approve Healthy Kids Running Series, spring dates with location to be determined at a later date or closer to
Okay, so,
that time when we know the
well,
schedule.
so we have one motion and a second, so are we withdrawing that
I'll
motion?
withdraw
made
my
a motion,
motion.
okay.
Fine.
So that's Judy's motion, another one on the
I'll
table.
second her motion.
Okay, is there further discussion? I guess the only question for you, Steve, is do you have a sense of when you guys may be able to put requests in, even just to block off times? I know you won't know the full schedule, but just to,
I mean, we
Potentially the
could,
same.
we could easily, because we have a request coming up for talent usage, I mean, we could do the whole entire March and through October. Every, you know, I don't wanna say every day 7 to 7, because, but it's pretty much, I mean, almost like in baseball, we block off almost every
Yeah,
single day.
it's, yeah.
Because it has to be flexibility, rain dates, what happens, because we have no other place to go.
And then if something comes in
And I
like the
don't know what day
showcases, they
my
can work
coaches
it out
will want,
Yeah.
with
be
you.
able to coach.
Yeah, that's the thing, we don't
you
know what day they coach, but, you know, we're tending with the program growing, hopefully more. Younger kids, we have the 8U blast team coming up now that we're hopefully gonna have more going on down there. And then we have partnered with the Fusion, who last year used it for the month of July.
Right.
You know, so with having all that, it makes it tough. We're fortunate that, you know, the Healthy Kid Running Series didn't happen July, because July was every Friday, Saturday,
I don't think
Sunday.
they do a summer.
don't.
They do spring and
Spring and
fall.
fall, so we can definitely get something in for the
Okay.
next meeting. We'll have something from baseball
perfect, thank you.
and softball. Might as well do both of them, right,
Yeah,
for the spring season?
yeah, that's.
Is there further discussion?
All right, so I'll touch base with her.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 600. Thank you. All right, now we will move to Litchfield Girls Softball League. Looking at Sundays for Town Hall, starting the 19th, coming right up, of November through April 14th, noon until 8 p.m. Those Sundays.
I'll make a motion to approve LGSL to use
I'll
town hall.
second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there discussion?
Just so the board knows, baseball has it from 7 to 12, 8 to 12.
I think it's 8 to 12.
And we're just going to together be flexible to work with each other, baseball and softball. So together we'll have all that time, but you may have baseball kids later in the day, softball early in the day. All comes down to what's the basketball schedule happening and so forth.
So Pickleball had emailed, I think me and you, asking about if there was any weekend availability. So do you think, like, if you guys get down a schedule and there's a block of 2 hours or 3 hours that isn't being used, once you know this age group clinic, like, I think we need to check with, I would say we need to check with basketball too, if there's, I know there's gonna wanna be makeup dates and stuff, but if there ends up being a couple hours of open time for
Yeah,
them.
we'll let you know.
We'll
Because
figure it out,
last year,
yeah.
yeah, they were able to get some,
They got
Like
Like
last,
after 4 p.m. or
they got,
something.
last year, they got Saturdays late in the day, after 4, I think it was. And Sundays, they might have got really late, cause we no longer used it at night at that time, cause our girls outgrew it, but now with the younger girls coming in. So I think there was a Saturday block last year.
does anyone have the schedule? Do you know what basketball has it till on Saturday?
They have it.
And a lot of the unknown
7:30
right
to
now
2.
is the travel schedule's not out.
Yeah,
7:30 to 2.
to 2. So if they wanted to put in from
2
2
on,
on Saturday.
probably 3 on, give me time to
Yeah,
get out of there,
give
clear
time
up
to
and
clean
stuff,
up.
or 2:30.
The other thing is that the groups using it know about Christmas at Dara. They have Talent Hall reserved from 9 in the morning all the way through to get ready on the 9th.
That's been worked out with basketball. I
It
believe.
has, okay. And then we
I saw
have
some
that,
emails going
that
back
concert, the
Then the
youth
concert's
concert
another
on
day.
the 2nd, but they're not looking to get in till 3, I think.
Basketball should be done
3
with
or
their
4.
time by then.
That
it would
should
also
be
be-
open, but I'll let LPA know about those dates.
And it would also be nice to know once basketball gets their season, because they have talent blocked every day from 5 to 9 at night. And I don't think basketball is gonna use it every day from 5 to 9 at night.
Right,
So it
once
would
they
be
have their
nice to know if
schedule.
there's hours
Yeah.
and blocks, because I know softball, we're trying to use it till 4:30 to 5:30.
Yeah,
And they
we-
can't say yes or no yet because they're
So
still
they
laying
know.
out the rec
But
season.
maybe once they
when the
know
coach-
and know their numbers, and
She,
then,
she said hopefully by Thanksgiving she should
Okay.
have a defined schedule.
There is one other conflict on January 28th where we approved the Litchfield Lions for a movie afternoon.
Yep, we blocked off, between baseball, softball, we gave them all their
All
time
right,
last year.
awesome, thank you.
By then you want a break.
Any further discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
One
abstained?
Abstain.
Abstained, 501. All right, moving on to old business. Got a couple events coming up after the holiday weekend. We have a concert on December 2nd and Spirit of Litchfield event on the 9th.
we had talked, a few months back about making sure if we're sponsoring an event that we have a couple people there.
Yep.
Last year, doing the Christmas at Dara was kinda hard being just me. I mean, you've heard the story of my brother-in-law having to fix the overflowing toilet and things like that, but it's the biggest, that one, I mean, I think whatever event we do, we need to have one or two bodies there. I am committed to helping them on the 9th and
I'll be there
being
the night
their
also.
liaison with the group. But we're gonna need, someone to help with that band doing the
Sure,
Christmas concert to
I can
help
dig that.
show them, how to hook everything up.
Yeah, well,
So I put our 2 long extension cords, there's a 3-drawer Rubbermaid thing now in the storage room. And those are in there.
There are a couple other extension cords, I think, in the softball shed that we can put in there.
all right, so I can take the 2nd, since we got a couple for the 9th.
We'll be down, I'll be down there on the 9th.
I'll be there on the 9th, that's the one that's gonna be a lot of work.
So-
It's like
Looping back to
7
that,
ladies trying to do the whole thing.
do we bring in another porta potty for that evening? With the amount of
That's what I
people-
was thinking, ours is being removed soon,
Do we bring back
we-
2
in the
handicap
past, we have-
accessible for the day?
yeah.
Gives a little more room with young children being there if you have to get in with them.
Yeah, so we're not removing that one for the season, right? We keep
That
That
one
one
usually
stays.
stays.
Yeah.
Oh, that one stays,
Yeah,
okay.
do we bring in another one, just so we have the 2 bathrooms inside,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can have 2 porta potties outside? Cause I have a feeling with the other event, the other item that's on our agenda, if that goes off, we're gonna get a lot more
Yeah,
people than we
because- yeah.
usually get.
And they easily get 1,000 people there.
So,
It's a good point. Yeah.
and I know those bathrooms get heavily used in
Yep, they
town,
do, and
as
you have
know.
all the vendors inside Talent too, so,
They're gonna be there for a while.
May make sense to bring 1 or 2 more in.
All right, so I'll take
I
that.
think so, cause I think people are gonna stay longer too.
I do too.
All right, so we want 2 ADAs, well, one will be an ADA that's staying there, and then 1 additional ADA one.
I think we need 1 or 2 additional.
So 3 altogether?
I don't know, I mean, I think 2 and 2 bathrooms.
I think that's sufficient.
Yeah, there's a lot of woods around there.
Yeah. Gonna catch Andy on somebody's camera.
It may be strategically place the other one somewhere in a different location,
Yeah.
out by the playground or somewhere where,
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
right in the
We
corner
used to
right there.
have
where
one
the,
down there where it used to be.
Yeah, where the lights are, stanchion
Yeah.
is right now.
Okay. All right, I'll work with Kim on that.
I mean, it's probably gonna cost us $250, cause you'll have to have it for the whole weekend, but I think it's well worth it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right, now moving on to more follow-up on Christmas at Dara. So Judy, update from last night?
So last night, the Board of Selectmen approved the parade, which is gonna happen on the 8th. It's gonna start at, Hidden Creek, and then I wasn't sure, it sounds like it goes to Campbell, and they're gonna
Goes all
turn
the way to
around and go back
Campbell, loops
anyway.
around at Campbell, comes back up and ends
Yeah.
at the fire
So the
station.
route was approved and everything's in compliance with getting permit, you'll have to fill out a form if you wanna be in the parade, as in the past, you could just show up and line up, so now they'll have to fill out a form with proof of age and insurance and all the guidelines that have to be followed, there'll be a form for that. And
Primex
it was
says no
approved, the fire department knows about the route, so that's a go, and then the Board of Selectmen approved fireworks pending our vote on the fireworks. So, Andy McLavy, I don't know if anyone's familiar with him.
No, Andy.
He works for Pyrotechnica. He would be doing the fireworks, which would be similar to what you'd see at Fisher Cats. He said maybe a little more because he's not going to take pay for it. He's going to do it at cost for the town. Fire department is involved. They have a map out of 2 areas that would be safe to light off the fireworks with the correct barrier. So all those things are being worked out between Andy and the fire department, and Kim. And the board seemed to quickly approve it and be on board with it. And I think some of the firemen and other people in town already are aware.
So Andy used to be on the fire department, and he's always done the show at the tree farm in December.
Yeah,
Every
and
year,
he
so
said
does a really
he's
good job.
done shows at Fenway Park and all over the place. Like, it's, he
Alright.
knows what he's doing, so we have to, decide if we want to approve that.
I'll make a
And we
motion
have
to
to-
approve the fireworks.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there discussion?
Well, when do we talk about funding?
Okay.
No?
Yes.
So, okay, Spirit of Litchfield isn't opposed to trying to do some fundraiser or, looking for sponsors. I looked into our activity account, which we have more money left than we typically do because our porta potties didn't get delivered to the fishing derby. So that money never came out. And there was no Fall Fest or Spring Fest this year, which we typically have donated $400 to $500 for. So our activity fund is at $15.99 right now. If we wanted to look at using some or all of that, we're nearing the end of the year. We don't know of any other events.
No, but it is a bottom line budget, and we have other things we could do. My biggest thing is, I think fireworks are a very polarizing thing in our town. You get people that absolutely love them, and you have
Yeah.
people that don't like them, and their animals get scared, which you understand, and so forth. So I think using those funds from taxation is gonna cause us maybe some grief. I don't know how much grief we're gonna get. I think this is such a good event that we could easily put up a QR code and people could donate. And we'd have the money to cover this in hours. Is what I just think, and try to keep it away from
So
taxation.
it would be, I think is about $2,800. The fire department or the rep last night was saying he thinks we need 3 or 4 firemen there.
But we haven't talked to
But
the
we
chief
weren't,
thus far.
right, the chief wasn't around and, it seemed like there weren't, we don't have a policy in town, maybe we're gonna have a policy soon. And, the state for Class C doesn't have requirements.
No requirements for fire
Yeah.
or anything, it's just the regular,
So-
it's the fireworks everyone sitting here can go and buy.
Yeah.
You just have a professional who's gonna light them off in a sequenced order to give you the show. So other than that, there really is no fire code around it, so it's gonna come down to the discretion of the fire chief. We're already gonna have fire personnel there because of touch a truck and because of the open fire pit.
Yep.
You know, is that enough? That's what we need to go and check with the chief from a staffing standpoint of the fire department. But I think if beautification or Spirit of Litchfield, both who, well,
And
beautification,
beautification, I'm pretty sure
Is a
they're
non-
building now on the calendar now. They wiped everything out with the granite posts and something else,
and I know
so.
that they have a Venmo with a QR code, right? We could post a QR code.
I think Spirit of Litchfield does, but I'm not positive.
Okay, whoever does, we could post that up, right? People could scan it, donate to it, and I bet you we're gonna get more money than we need, and then can we use those funds for something else within the community? Or can we put them somewhere, save them for next year, or, you know, something else we wanna do for events?
So are you saying rec would put up a QR code or like a private or?
Or Spirit of
Spirit of
Litchfield.
Oh, Spirit of Litchfield would do it, okay.
Correct, which is
Spirit of Litchfield.
rec.
Right.
So then it's all donations that are being used for the fireworks.
And then if the money's not raised, then there's just no fireworks.
No, if money's not raised, I mean, we can make a vote to offset the funds.
When's our
right?
next meeting?
We have one more meeting before.
We have one more.
Meeting before?
So, I mean,
Alright,
if they
so
don't get
let's-
raised at that time, we can come back and say, all right, we need $400 or whatever it is, but I think within our community, I think we could quickly raise.
If you get the
Those
word
funds.
out. Yeah.
So what is the motion? To approve with no funding at this time?
Yes, the motion is just to approve
Just to approve.
layoff fireworks.
And let's see if we
Approve
can
fireworks.
get creative. I think there's several of us could put our heads together and come up with a creative way of funding it.
And it would just be Class C fireworks?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what we
Yeah.
were told last evening.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't think the Fisher Cats use all Class C.
That's what we were told.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
And the city of Manchester makes them have a fire personnel there when they do it over at Fisher Cats.
Yeah, because Manchester has a
Yeah.
policy.
Policy
The-
about it,
The
but yeah,
city
they're,
has a policy.
we were told last night they were Class C, so
Yeah.
nice display
They're
for Class C.
Yeah. Okay,
And you know how to shoot them off, I guess.
I guess.
Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
I-
Opposed, abstain, motion carries 600. All right, so Judy, will you follow up with Spirit Litchfield and let them know that
I will.
discussion? Thank you.
And Judy, I'll get with you and see what we can come up with of different ways of funding it.
Yeah, I just hate, there are very few of them putting on this huge thing, so I'd hate to throw something else on them. I'd like to see, I mean, if we're sponsoring the event, I'd like to see us doing something. I'd hate to see us, wipe out the activity fund and not use anything for activities. Do you know what I mean? But I know we have some other expenditures, but we can revisit that in 2 weeks and see what we have. I just know there's been talk of if we go out there and say we need 2,800 for fireworks and whatever the fire's gonna cost, and we have zero, like, I think we have zero to start with.
Well, maybe
Well,
we,
just
maybe
having
we cover
something,
the
but-
fire personnel that evening if we need to.
We what?
Maybe we cover the firefighter personnel that evening, the staffing, if need be.
Yeah.
As a contribution, but I'm willing to, if you wanna jump on, if we can get with Spirit of Litchfield, maybe we can take on the fundraising piece of it. To get that off their plate, right?
Yeah,
Cause I think it's gonna be simple as putting a QR code up on the WhatsApp page or something. I think it's gonna be that simple.
what happens with that if they go over? Do they just turn over when they turn it off when they reach their amount
Sorry, say that again, sorry.
for something like that? Do they just turn it off once they reach their amount so that they don't go over?
take that
What
code.
happens
let
if
me-
they go
let me
over?
just-
Does it go into a future?
Let me pull it back a little bit, because there's one other item that I neglected to add on regarding Spirit Litchfield, because they do have contributions into the revolving fund, which they had a balance, and so, they did reach out asking for approval to access some of their balance, of about $570, just to purchase like the run-of-the-mill event thing, so, we need to approve that. But looking at our next two agenda items, it kind of plays to the broader piece, yet we have not used any of the, program funds, to your point. That is something we could use for some of their other more routine expenses for the event.
Could that be used towards porta potties?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be used for anything.
Because we didn't get our porta potties for
Yeah.
So why don't we,
fishing derby.
why don't we
and
cover the porta
that
potties
would
that
be,
way?
yeah, because that's,
Sure.
That's true, yep.
Yep, now giving it back to an event, right? Porta potty portion of it.
yeah. And then at the next meeting, we'll see where they're at for funds raised and what the cost, we should know by then what the cost for fire detail would be.
Certainly makes sense for us to cover that expense. And it's in the taxpayer's interest not to have fires.
Exactly. You know, that porta potties and so forth. It's just, I just think
Yeah.
fireworks are
hear you.
polarizing. I'm a huge fan of them. I love them. I think they're great. Kids love them.
Yep.
I think most people sitting in this room love them, but there are some people within the community that do not like them. at all.
Sure, understandable, yep.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, so we're good on that piece for the moment? All right, well, let's move then to talent and talk about some repairs there, but certainly want it in the context of the next agenda items for the
Did we
remaining.
ever take a vote?
Oh, yeah, we should take a vote, right, to cover the
I don't think
porta
we took a vote. I
potties?
think we got the discussion and we kept on going.
Oh, yeah.
For the fireworks, didn't we pass that 600?
No, we did not.
We did not, okay.
Oh,
Wait, I think we did.
yeah, we passed the fireworks, but do
Yeah,
we
we
have to
did.
pass paying?
I thought we
Porta
paused it
potties.
because you wanted to talk about the funding mechanism.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought too.
That's
Rewind the
That
tape.
was a discussion. Okay.
Mike's,
Throw the
I
challenge
thought we,
flag.
I thought we approved the fireworks. So I'll make a motion to pay for the fire personnel and the porta potty, just to be clear, right?
Well, it sounds like the question is still, did we approve the fireworks?
I thought we
I thought we did.
I thought we were getting,
did.
we had a motion, we had a second, I thought we were going to.
We did.
We did, okay,
Did?
all right.
Yeah.
Thanks,
we
Sean.
did. Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I guess you
Yeah.
were sleeping the.
So now, I was like, I know I voted on one of the two things that we
Okay,
voted on tonight. Okay.
All right, so fireworks are approved. Is there another motion on this issue?
Move to pay for the fire personnel and porta potties for the Spirit of Litchfield event.
and I'll second that.
All right, is there a discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes 6-0-0. Porta potties and fire personnel.
Wait, did we vote on that?
Getting in my head, Andy.
I's dotted, T's crossed.
All right, now moving to talent then. So we'll talk about kind of the most recent heating issue as well as a number of other items that could potentially be addressed, but one in the context of the broader budget discussion, because this is probably the biggest ticket item we have left in the year that we know about, but we do have a fair amount of funds remaining. But I will say we do not have a invoice yet on the heating repair, so we're gonna have to ballpark that for the moment. So.
That didn't fall into warranty?
Not all of it, nope.
Okay.
So, it was replaced in 2016, so,
Was that long ago?
yep, yeah.
Yeah.
That was 7 years ago?
Yeah, but should it go at 7 years?
I'm just shocked it was 7 years ago. I didn't think it was that long ago that.
No, and especially like it hardly gets any use in there in the summer.
And
So
COVID-
there's no way it was 2016.
There's no way it got replaced 7 years
Because
ago.
I moved to town in 2017 and I joined the board like a year after that. It must have been 2018 or 19.
I thought it was right before COVID it got replaced.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Because we had a temporary system in there for a
We
while.
did. We
And then we
did.
finally got enough funds,
Maybe that's what it was.
it
Okay.
got put in, and then COVID hit and we didn't use it for almost a year.
Yeah.
That would be 2019, maybe.
Okay, so I was chatting with Kim about that, and I think that's, and maybe it's my mix about 2016, because we're talking about the warranty and would it be covered or not. And a couple of the items were not available in stock, so they had to order some, so that's why they did repair one boiler that was fired, and so we got some heat back, but the full system isn't fixed yet, so that's why we don't have the bottom line expense for it. But be that as it may, I don't really know what it will be, but it might be, you know, if those things aren't on warranty, a couple grand for sure, potentially,
least,
right? So, so let me do this. Let me first just kind of go over our remaining budget, and then we'll walk through the different items that we have that we're considering. There's a couple lines that we have that are still available. You know, the building repair and maintenance is the big one. We have about 10,700 in that left prior to this. General supplies, we have about 360. Equipment purchase, we've not used any, it's at 600. And then, as we discussed, the program expenses was at 1,600. To Steve's point, it's a bottom line budget, so in one sense, those are the buckets that could be kind of put together if we needed a kind of a number to work with for what we have left for flexibility. The other buckets that have remaining items we expect to be drawn down over the next couple months, or they're a timing issue, which is why they look bigger. So,
Gas, electric, water.
Just to backpedal, the new system got installed on December 17th of 2019.
December of 19.
December 17th, yep. And it was up and running on December 24th.
And it's not under warranty?
That's what I mean, it's only 4
years.
years.
Yeah.
Less than 4 years. That's
So, that's when it got
thank you
installed.
for that. Let me, that's helpful. So I'll chat with Kim as we get that invoice and see where, make sure we're getting that warranty as we should.
Are the people fixing it the people that installed it? Do you know?
She went to the people who installed it first. I don't know that they were the first to respond back to it, because we were just like, whoever can get in there quickest.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
know she did research to figure out, and she went back into Troy's files to find out who installed it. I know she did that. I don't know who, like Peter, I don't know who she actually got.
Andy, is the urinal, do you think that's all set or is that gonna need?
Yeah, and I'll send that bill
too.
Okay.
Don't
We
forget
definitely
to
have
take
do
that off
something
the-
about those metal frames. I sent
I can
pictures.
I can fix those.
You
I
can?
can fix those and I can replace the hats, the latch on the fence.
Oh, okay.
Kim had said there was a hole in the ground near the base, and I was gonna go and look, and I totally spaced it, that she thought critters could get under there.
The base
And I
of-
sent her the pictures I took, Talent Hall, and she said, no, it wasn't any of those metal grate things. I haven't come across, or I haven't noticed, or maybe I haven't looked well enough, but I didn't get over there to check out what she was talking about.
In the ground.
But she said it was, yeah,
So I can take a walk around too, and if I see a hole, I can put some of that,
okay.
some of that material over it.
They'd have to go all the way down under the foundation to get in there. I wouldn't worry about that too much.
All right, let me just go back up so we can kind of assign expenses to this. So the urinal is or is not fixed? It wasn't clear if that's in an okay space.
They could see it.
It's fixed for now.
Mr. Ruggles fixed it.
Well, I'll tell you. So I took it all apart.
Yeah.
Cleaned it all out. There's like a little thing in there, and just because sometimes my friend's a plumber, he's like sometimes some like gravel or something will get caught and it won't seat
Yeah.
well. So I cleaned it all out, and it seems to be stopping.
Okay.
If it does have to be replaced, you can just take the thing apart, order the one for the Sloan or whatever. I think it's Sloan, and just drop the new seat in there. It's $18. I looked it up just to find out.
Okay.
So it's not like a heavy lift.
Okay.
That video I sent looks like it's a simple repair.
Yeah, it took 10 minutes to take it
So
out.
we have
Well,
to
we have to
vote
easily
to
do that if we
reimburse
Do we
you.
buy two and just replace them anyways to make the problem go away?
It's probably a great
Might as
idea.
well.
I mean, if we already have a problem with them, who knows the last time they were touched? Might as well just buy two and drop them in.
Saturday or Sunday.
Just a couple days ago.
I meant replacing new ones the last time they were touched.
I'm gonna, by the look of them, I'm gonna guess they've never been.
Yeah. So we probably should just put two new ones in, make the problem go away. That problem go away.
So do we have to vote on that?
To approve the
Aaron.
expenditure, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know exactly which model number, because there was, when I looked it up, there's like 3 different model
Why don't we
numbers,
do
so I
not
have
to exceed
$100.
$100?
Yeah. All right, I'll make that motion to approve up to $100 for the replacement of the valves in the urinal,
And I will second.
All right. So we
and
have
I
a-
will take care of that.
All right, so motion to replace the valves up to $100.
For the 2 urinals.
For 2 urinals, yep, okay. Motion second, is there discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 600.
Andy's
you
happy
for
for
that.
us. He seemed to like
So do we need to
bathrooms.
approve the,
I've got the crack
funds
for
to
it.
repair the grates and the fence and everything?
Yes, now we'll do that,
But
yeah.
probably make that $100 too.
Is that just 100, okay.
Got the re-drill new holes
I just use self-tappers.
Self-tappers.
Yeah.
into the.
All right, so is that a formal motion, or can you make a formal motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to, not to exceed $100 for the repair of the grates around Talent Hall and the latch on the fence to the, was it the propane?
Propane tank.
I'll second.
All right, motion and a second, is there discussion? None, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries 600. Thank you.
Bless you.
Are we still on the fireworks?
Okay, so water monitor, let's move to that one. I thought was a good suggestion, focusing around some items that might be a good fit for that, so we can monitor water usage, which has been a problem, as it far as being surprised, over the years, and it would signify a problem, before we found about it the other way, with the big puddle, so.
Yes.
And Jeff, you said that would also monitor the heat?
It monitors the ambient temperature
Ambient
in the
It
room.
does, and it will alert us if it's 45 degrees in there, if we set it to,
Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
Now, is it a remote probe or is the probe with the unit?
it's built into the unit,
Built into
so
the
it's
unit,
just
okay.
the very,
So it all comes, so if it's tucked inside where the meter is right after it, we're really not gonna get ambient temperature.
there are separate little things that are like satellites. I've got 3 of them that I have, so I have one of those units, and then I put one next to the water heater, and it gives you the temperature, ambient temperature there, so we could put one, tape it to the wall beside the stage or something to get the ambient temperature.
Is it
someplace else in the
hardwired or
building.
is it Bluetooth, RFID,
The remote thing is Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi?
Is it plugged into
Battery
the wall?
operated?
Yeah, battery.
It's battery operated.
Oh, it is.
The main unit is powered, it's plugged in, but those little remote things are battery operated and Wi-Fi connected to the main unit, which is then Wi-Fi to wherever you wanna go.
All right. Is there a motion?
Good idea to me.
It is a great idea.
Yeah, I'll make
I'll
a
make-
I'll make a motion
I'll
to
second.
approve up to what, 1,000? What was it, 15?
It was about 1,000, I think, when we put ours in, so it might be a little more than that now.
It's like
I'll say up to 1,500.
We have to cut the
1,500.
plumbing, put it in, replumb it.
Yes.
Oh,
So you
Yeah,
might wanna-
it's gotta cut the pipe, cut out 6 inches of the pipe and put this unit in.
oh,
And that's the one that I have, and there's other similar models, I don't, different
so
people
we'd
like
say up
different
to
ones.
2,000?
And I think where that water meter is, you got the shut off, you got the meter, doesn't it jog after that?
There's a lot going on there.
So,
If we wanted to put it right in that little
that's
closet
the
back
main,
there,
that's the
yeah,
main,
that's the main input.
coming in for it.
Yeah, we'd have to look at it and see what space there is to,
All right, I'd say
Working
up to $2,000 then
that should be enough.
for the installation of the Wi-Fi monitoring system.
I'll second.
Tim, can't get in there.
Motion and a second?
Can't get in there.
Is there further discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 600.
So we need to connect with a plumber to just get that scheduled,
We should work with Kim, yeah.
work with
to-
Kim, okay?
Yep.
And did you say the pipe sticking out of the wall in the kitchen is an easy cut and cap? Like, is that something
The PVC is, the.
we
the-
can do
The
ourselves?
lines that fed the water, should be, they're copper, so they should be, cut and capped, so you gotta solder them. I mean, I could certainly do it, but I don't know if you want a pro doing it.
I can't do it.
Well,
I
if we had a plumber in to go put the monitor in, why don't we just have a cap and sweat 2
Yeah.
pipes for us? I mean, the PVC is easy, just cut it, glue it, put it done.
don't- Yeah,
Yeah, we stuffed a rag in there now to keep
Yeah.
the gases out.
that way we'll make sure that's done correctly with no
Sure.
issues. Town hall should be like a whole new building. I don't think it's going
But
to
you're not
be,
gonna be able to see any of the stuff
Yeah.
we did.
except the shelving.
Did we talk about the water heater?
We have not, yep, so
Nope.
let's move to that item.
We already had a quote for that, didn't we? Was that the $7,000 quote we had?
Back a while ago, right?
Yeah.
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 I think it can be done for far less.
$7,000
Like, just put in a,
for
even if it's,
on-demand water here?
They were taking out the old one, taking out all the piping going underneath the stage. What else was in that, Peter, do you remember?
Yeah, no, yep. Kind of
Replumbing,
re-putting the pipes in, yeah, was the big thing. Stripping out the old, putting in new, the unit, obviously.
yep,
Is that like a multi-day?
I don't know, plumbers get paid well.
I just wanna make sure, like, the stage isn't taken apart for the December
If
second
not, they'll go
concert.
underneath it, there's
Oh,
2
okay.
doors you can open up and crawl under there.
Go under there, okay.
Where do they have to,
Not it,
why would they have to do anything under there? I don't understand.
get the piping out, right now there's
That's
all
where the
heat
piping
pipe and all that, just to remove it all.
Yeah, it was identified as a potential like mold hazard and need to get.
The water leaks out under there or something?
Yeah, yeah.
And then they're gonna reinstall heat tape anywhere if needed, I think that was part of the proposal.
Shouldn't need any, and we just need
Depends on
to,
how it's, I guess the question is, how is it plumbed under there, right? Do we know?
yeah, we shouldn't have any water, to the left of the stage,
That would be ideal.
right? We're just going from the main input to service the 2 bathrooms. Anything that's going the other way, just cut it and cap it. And
Well, we do have an outside spigot,
on the other side,
what side of the building is that
It's on
spigot?
the right, I
On the
think. It's over
south
by
side
the electrical.
of the building.
Okay,
I don't know if there's one on the opposite side.
I don't think
I've
so.
never looked,
I think it's
but
only
know
on
there's
one
by the
side of the
electrical.
building.
Yeah, it's.
we don't need it on both sides. If it's there, just cut it off anyway. I'd just get rid of all the plumbing past the bathrooms.
I say we use that extra money that was put into the budget last year and take care of that before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. When we first saw it earlier in the year, it was like, that's a big ticket item. But now where we are, I think we might have enough room. I think we'll probably need an updated quote, from.
Whoever Kim went to.
Yep, to see if the price is still in range. I might suggest though that we hold that one for another meeting so we can get the estimate for the heating fix. Cause we're getting a
Yes.
bit close now, to what the range would be. If that was 7 and the heating fix is 3 to 4,
And if that,
then
and if we do have enough money, that person comes in for it, maybe they can do the water monitor for us and sweat the other 2 pipes.
that's a good thought.
Have one plumber come in and take care of the whole thing while
do
we're
it all.
there.
Everything all at once.
That's a good thought.
And, I mean, ripping out the old plumbing just to avoid, leftover water dripping in there, is something we could probably do if we had to. Once, once everything to the left of the stage is isolated,
Right.
then cutting the old stuff out is not that big a deal. And not urgent either, I wouldn't think.
Are folks okay with that? Waiting one more meeting for?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to get some.
That smell's coming back out again.
I don't know.
Come to this side.
Smell anything.
Come over here and sit.
Yeah.
You smelt it, you dealt it.
No. And can I move over there? Is it better over there? I swear, it just like.
It's not bad over here at all,
I'm moving over.
but it was bad over there last night, cause I was with Jeffers.
All right, anything else on the budget this time?
Come over here and do that.
The only other thing I will note, if folks are okay with it, was that there's still over $3,000 left in ProKit, which is a timing piece. Our tank was pretty high still a couple weeks ago, but it might be worth us asking them to make a delivery now, while we have those funds available. Folks okay with me just checking with Kim and say, hey, do we have a scheduled delivery?
off.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will do that.
Can I add a couple of things to the old business, or
Please,
should
go
I
ahead.
wait until, the other section?
No, you can go ahead.
All right. So we removed the sink from the kitchen at Town Hall. It's sitting in the shed, to the left of the building. And we talked to Kim about selling it, trying to see what we could do, just rather than just throw it away, scrap it, whatever. So I guess there's an auction company that we would need to go through, or that the town would go through, to use. Let me find her email. So it's a national auction company that works with municipalities. Any funds would be deposited into the sale of town asset account, so it wouldn't come to the rec fund, or anything, but are we okay with just letting them do that? Let's see why not, if it's
Yeah.
something we need to vote on, or,
I think so.
no?
For me.
Okay.
Okay, that's great.
The other thing with in regards to the pavilion at the pickleball courts, I don't have a schedule yet from the contractor on when he's gonna start, but I did reach out to, a local company, and they're most likely gonna provide the pad and walkways for us, depending on timing. So that's, gonna be hopefully a donation, so we should be good there.
Cool.
Nice.
Thank you, Chris.
Does that include the egress?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
have them do
great.
that too.
Okay, good.
And if they're doing that, I might have them take a look at patching that spot in the parking lot at Dara that you noticed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, any other old business?
Oh, you know what, one thing that wasn't there, the slide. We were talking about replacing it, which can wait, I think, at this point, but should we take the slide down and block off the top? Or is it with
From the
the,
slide that.
yeah,
think it's
that now
safer
it's
with
like
the slide
cracked
there.
there than blocking it? Okay, cause it's gonna probably get a lot of use the
Yeah.
night of the Christmas event, so I just wanted to, it's cracked again.
Because anytime we've ever tried to block it,
Yeah.
people just destroy whatever.
I
have
didn't know if
blocking it.
if we needed to remove it, but it's cemented into the ground, right? And put up a board, okay. So we'll just leave it there till,
Can we get a
Spring
big
one,
piece
right?
of plastic and just glue it down on top of it?
try.
He had like
Good,
a,
I-
and it was
the
level,
two-
it's the cement underneath that keeps
it's gonna
be
raising, I guess.
There, on the left side of it, I did put some little pieces of plastic, and that part is still okay. So I could try doing that again, but not till the warmer weather.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
But that might make it last for a little while longer. I could do that on the other side.
I was just thinking until we can get a new one to come in, because even when
Yeah.
we do order one, it's not gonna be,
If it even
No.
fits, cause
If it
those
even
have bolt
fits,
To get one that's gonna fit.
it's settled and trying to get it all
Yeah.
in, it's
I have no idea what a slide even goes for.
a lot.
Probably
Yeah.
10 grand.
For
I have
this,
no idea.
yeah, for a public park.
Maybe we have to modify, like with the one we did Jeff Lane, remember we took pieces were stolen, so we had to remodify it,
We did.
Yeah.
put some bars up there or something to close it off.
Yeah.
All right. Any other old business? Then we'll jump to new business, and Jeff, you have an update for us?
Yeah, I went to the Lower Merrimack River Local Advisory Committee. And they talked about two different projects, both over in Merrimack. One of them is to just put in a new road in anticipation of an industrial park over there. I think that was the one that was near Saint Gobain. Just a little bit south of Saint Gobain. There's about 100 acres, I think it was. You could put a new road in there, and they they planned the road that was just a little bit inside the buffer, and we said, why don't you move it a little bit outside the buffer? So they think they're gonna make that change. The other one is for an expansion of a electronics recycling facility. And it's a dry process, so there's no water going into the Merrimack River, but the guy who was there didn't know if there was anything going into the air. And there were concerns about precipitation of, stuff goes into the air, it comes down and lands in the water. So they were gonna, ask the DES to consider that when they look at the permit, for that.
Sorry, and where is that one located?
That one's a little bit farther south, in Merrimack still, on that side of the river.
Okay.
Yeah. It's in I can't remember the name of the Colt Refining Company. They have an existing building there, and they're gonna build another one that looks about the same size. It's an expansion of that company.
And when will those reviews be available?
So they, one of them hasn't even filed for a permit with the DES yet, the other one has, but the state DES has to review the applications. Who knows how
Quite a ways
long
off.
that takes. Yeah, so I'll let you know if I hear how it all came out.
Any questions from the members? Well, thank you for attending that and keeping
Yeah.
us posted. All right, next on new business is reimbursing Judy for some supply expenses. So these we had previously approved, and this is now the
Right.
authorization for the receipts, correct?
Correct.
All right. Do you have an exact figure from the receipts?
It was a little over, it'll be a donation that way. We just keep it at 150 that you approved, and then we're probably gonna need that other money left over in that fund to use on other things. So it's not a big deal.
All right, is there a motion to authorize reimbursement for Judy's expenses?
So moved.
Didn't we already approve that?
You approved for me to spend it.
Spend it, now we're reimbursing.
Now this is for reimbursement.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a-
You have to have it in the minutes that they approved the
Okay.
spending and the reimbursement.
Got it.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstain, motion carries 5-0-1.
Thank you, Judy.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for approving reimbursing me. Jason appreciates it.
All right, moving on to other business, town hall cleaning for a couple of the upcoming events.
Yeah, what I listened to there was kind of like just quick blurbs. I asked Kim if we could get town hall cleaned before the 2 Saturday events, because cleaning was happening on Sunday, so that way it's clean and fully stocked for the events going on there. I'll get out the information for the Southern New Hampshire Tour of Lights.
Is the individual
Okay.
gonna do a second cleaning the next day?
That I did not look into. Should I?
Maybe we should, right? Because then it'll be clean for
Yeah.
the whole following week.
Okay.
So the 3rd and the 10th, I think that would be his normal days, so
Okay.
pretty much asking for 2 more cleanings.
Okay, I will touch base with Kim on that. Is
I don't know what
everybody,
our janitorial
we have to
line
vote
looks
on
like.
that to have an extra cleaning, or should we just in
I
case?
don't think it's a contracted, I mean, this is,
So the 2 cleanings, why don't we use our activity funds to pay for that also?
Okay,
that's a good thought.
okay.
We're doing it for an activity.
Doing it for an activity, it's a special clean, just like the porta potty.
All right, so we should vote so we have it in the minutes.
Yeah. it's for-
Okay.
for-
I'll make a motion that we pay for 2 additional cleanings of Talent Hall on December 2nd and 9th, and use the money from our activities fund.
I'll second.
Is there discussion?
We wanna do the, before the events, or after the
Pay,
events?
we'll pay for the 2
Both.
before, and the
Both.
ones after will be the routine cleaning.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 600.
Southern New Hampshire Tour of Lights, I'll get the information out next week. I believe that it's due on the December 4th. Everybody will just sign up on a sheet I made, a form that I made up
Same
like
as
last
last
year. Yep, and then after that date, it'll be published and people will be able to go through town and the other towns that are participating if they want to. I asked for town hall to be put on our QR code drop down. That we use at all, the QR code we use at all our parks, that way if something does happen,
Yep.
we hear about it right away, and it's not like, who do I call? Steve and I met with Kimball High School again, and Image Adventures, he was here from Indiana, did he say, Ohio? Iowa.
I think it was
Okay.
Iowa.
Yeah. It was a cold outdoor meeting, but it went well.
It was
and-
great, yeah.
And I
Lot of
think our
collaboration.
next steps, collaborating with the school, is to come up with, facility requests and how we can make sure that
Each other are both informed
informed and approved
Yeah.
on both ends.
before anybody comes. So that procedure will be something we're gonna have to look at.
And the clearing's already started under there. It's looking pretty good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you both for attending to that.
Tell you what,
The potholes, on the roadway in front of Town Hall have all been filled, so nobody's gonna fall in them on, the Christmas lighting event. And then that was it, just future emails and dates.
All right, I had 2 other items. Do
Okay.
folks have other items, though? All right, one is for the Spirit of Litchfield, as I mentioned earlier, just looking to approve expenses to support the upcoming event. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the Spirit of Litchfield to use their funds in their revolving fund, up to $700 for the Christmas in Litchfield event.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Is there discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Motion carries 600. Great.
Do you want me to let them know that was approved when I talk to them about fire and porta potty? Or do you wanna do it all?
I've been going back and forth. I will do that and I'll CC you just so we're all,
Okay, that sounds good.
we'll over communicate in these last couple weeks to make sure we're all in the loop. Thank you.
Okay,
And last one was just getting back to the warrant article. So Steve, I know we talked about looking at some language for
Yep.
that, and we got some timelines coming up that we need to get things in by December. So where we last left off is we were kind of a consensus that we wanted to move forward with a warrant article to authorize a fund available as needed for major maintenance or repair, not kind of ongoing things, but roof falls in, heater really goes, or something like that, that we would have something that would be available, and we had talked about, $25,000-$30,000 being the appropriation request. So I guess I'll turn to you to just kind of guide for next steps here. And-
Once we know the value, we can have it quickly written. It's gonna follow all the other ones that we did. Just change the language for it. We just need to come up with what is the value that we wanna ask for.
Do we need a vote on it?
I think we should vote on what we want to bring.
I
to the
will
board.
make a motion to, apply for a warrant article in the sum of $25,000.
Okay, I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there discussion?
So that would apply to anything, I mean,
It'd be probably a maintenance and repair is what we do it as.
okay. I think of Talent Hall and all the systems in there falling apart, but it could be applied to other
I would make it a recreation, maintenance, and repair fund. Because and anything associated with recreation, it would fall in. So if we lost an irrigation pump,
Yeah.
right, it would fall into that. So I'd call it a recreation, maintenance, and repair.
The well pumps, the playground becomes dangerous.
Playground equipment, anything. And nothing says that in subsequent years, we can not, I mean, nothing stops us from adding more to that total, right? Instead of 25, let's raise and appropriate now the value, another 15. So we can
Yeah.
have a fund sitting there, so if something
Right.
big happens.
Do we have to approve this fund every year?
No,
Or
it's
have
up-
it-
So here's, let's just say we expended from it, right? Let's say we expended $10,000.
Yep.
We could go next year for a warrant article to refund it
For 10,000.
back to $25,000, the
Okay.
$10,000 delta.
Got it.
So that's kind of what we do
Otherwise,
with
it
them, as
stays
we
in
pull
there.
from them, yeah, it stays in there,
Okay.
so it stays in this
And-
fund in a special account, and that's what it's used for.
Okay.
Do we think 25K is enough?
How much,
I just put it out there for discussion, you know.
how
Didn't we
much
have
would it
this
cost to
discussion?
resurface?
We talked
We were all-
between
we did
20,
25,
25 and 30,
50,
and
we
I
were all
think
over the
we
place.
35?
narrowed it down, I think we agreed to 25.
Cause we're like, how much does a roof cost, and then when you don't wanna
Yeah.
get to the point that they're gonna say no because the sum's so large, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And listening to the budget committee, it already sounds like they wanna cut the $8,000 line. Right, so,
Well, and that's, would make that possible, having this.
but just, we gotta be careful, if they cut the $8,000 line and the warrant article doesn't pass, we have zero maintenance or repair.
Right.
None whatsoever. So, we gotta figure out what we wanna do. I mean, once again, we can go deliberative and try to get the $8,000 added back into the budget like we did last year, right? Belt and suspenders, right, just in case it doesn't pass.
Yeah. How much would it cost to resurface the tennis courts, right? That's one of those big maintenance items.
Correct.
I mean, that quote was north of 30
I thought it was
years
like
ago.
80.
I thought,
Yeah,
I thought
with
it was-
everything.
It was a lot,
2 years ago, I think I looked at it,
yeah,
right? 3 years ago?
yeah.
I think we need to start somewhere.
not-
Maybe
yeah.
we don't go right to the max at, I mean, $100,000. I mean, we could easily, if something happened, need it. I'm thinking more of, do we start at 25, 30?
25, 30.
Yeah.
And then if we get it next year, if we think, oh my God, this is really needs something, we need an extra $15,000, $20,000, do we go to a different
And
warrant
increase
next year?
it,
Right, right.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean,
We
I
gotta
would,
be sensitive of the tax burden. that's gonna
agreed,
apply.
yeah,
We raise and appropriate, it's gonna be a penny, it's gonna be 1/10 of a cent or whatever it comes down to.
right.
Yeah.
But we need to have some sort of rainy day fund, because stuff is aging in
Right.
town.
You know,
We need to
and-
have a plan.
And, yeah, talent
And we could
is
be good
old.
stewards of the money also, let's say we use $5,000, but then at the end of the year, we could, if we had money left over, we could encumber the 500 and ask the selectmen to refund back into that, right? So there are ways we can do it by being good stewards also. But
Yeah.
right now, I think we need to have money in case something goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
The
my,
usage of stuff in town is only growing.
Correct.
it is.
And it's aging,
Yeah.
which makes it even worse.
Right.
Yeah, and I think, this is a good, smart step, that gives us some protection, because I do worry about having to take something offline, that's my biggest fear.
Yeah.
Cause like, tennis courts, like, they're not in good shape, but they're safe, so we don't have to close them, but if something really happened at town, or, the playground, or if a field was like, can't water it, and we're gonna destroy our field, that's what I worry about the most, right?
Same.
And so I think this is a real, just, to your point, we gotta have a rainy day fund, so we
Yeah.
don't end up in that spot.
It's an insurance policy.
Yeah.
It's really what it comes
And-
down to.
Talent has been used for emergency purposes also, right? Evacuation. Wasn't there something where
was,
schools,
yeah.
Yeah. The
so
primary one is Campbell. Campbell is set up
something,
as an
yeah,
emergency
but I
operations
think
center.
something must happen at Campbell and they brought them.
They did.
We did
All
gas
over.
leaks or
So-
something like that.
If we had to shut that down, it could be,
And we also have a community center now too, that is
okay.
part of the
Yeah.
emergency evacuation plan, emergency plan.
I think
Yeah.
Campbell, they could just walk them all over to,
And that's why the
to do
generator was
that.
put in at Campbell, is for that purpose.
Yeah.
And plus it has the showers there, it has the kitchen there. It's only part of that school's on the
Yeah.
generator.
Is there further discussion? All right, all in favor of the motion at 25K? Carry 600.
Okay, I'll reach out to Kim and get legal working on that.
Okay, great, thank you, Steve.
Because I think we owe budget committee everything by the 17th, I think, of December. All the warrant articles that raise and appropriate. somewhere around the 17th.
All right, are there other items folks want to raise? All right, seeing none, our next meeting is on Tuesday, November 28th. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
I need you to sign those, so I.